What's up, y'all? Welcome to Not Gonna Lie. My name is Fritz.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dapper Dan. Welcome to the latest and soon to be the greatest podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Not Gonna Lie. It's episode 3 we have now.
Episode 3, man.
It's time flying.
Time's flying.
Fucking trade away.
No, we not jacking that.
Yeah, that's the wrong Danny Don. That's the wrong Danny Don.
How you doing today, bro?
I'm alright, bro. How's your week been?
It's been alright, man. You know what I'm saying? Fall weather here. Got the hoodie on. This
Really
is my
starting
type
to
of
dress
shit.
now,
This is my
man.
type of shit.
It's time to
And
start
I think I said it last week. This is the best season for me personally. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what we able to watch on television, sports-wise. Not even just sports-wise, but like movies and TV shows. Fall is an exciting time. So.
And I'm not gonna lie, this period of fall is my favorite. Like this period, like
Early.
transition into sports. But before we even get into that, all our viewers, we thank you for those who have viewed so far. Me, Fredo, Fritz, we all here. We're so grateful for it. It just help that if you just like, comment, subscribe, just help us out. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear y'all feedback. So if you want to see something, see us talk about something, see us debate something, hear our viewpoint, leave it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Down to the Soul. And check out downtothesole.com. My man's Fresco Fredo. Got a lot on there for you.
That's a fact.
But let's jump into the shits. What you want to get into first?
Man, I think we should just do a quick synopsis of the MLB. You know, it was an exciting wild card games that happened a couple of days ago. We had it was the Nationals and the Brewers.
Yeah, that game ended crazy. I saw my man's Fresco Fredo probably watched
Yeah,
it.
and you know Juan Soto, clutch.
How many runs? It was a 3-run hit, right?
Yeah, 3 runs
They-
scored.
In the
down.
eighth, in the top of the eighth, right?
And it was down.
Bottom of the eighth? Yeah, bottom
by
of the
1
eighth.
point. So they advanced. And yesterday,
Interesting stats, sorry to cut you off.
Good.
They said that the Brewers threw every pitch with the lead. Like every pitch they threw, they had the lead, and somehow still lost the game.
That's
That's a crazy stat. I seen that on WTF stats on Instagram.
Imagine being up a whole game just to lose.
Bro, the bottom of the eighth. You think you taking this home? They up.
But the good happens in Wisconsin.
That's bad.
So the last time we had that type, I mean, that heartbreak is different. Like when it's in your hands. The last time I can remember a heartbreak like that is when the Eagles did that to us. What was it, 2013?
Oh, when Michael Vick?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, that was the best club I've seen in my life.
Had the game, lost it, but
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying? We're going to get into something.
don't even remember.
All right, so we're moving on. With that being said, so ALDS is up next. Yanks. I heard CC is actually not going to be on the roster for that game.
Nah,
Is he going to be in the lineup just not for that game?
just for the series.
For the series?
Yeah, you change the roster every series, like you can do that. So I don't think they like the way he matched up with Minnesota.
I see.
Okay, cool.
That's real interesting how they do that with baseball.
Yeah, like just then baseball, I feel like led the analytics kind of wave into like other sports in my opinion, because like you really gotta like sit there and be like, all right, this person bats terrible against lefty pitchers who throw this ball, who do this. Like that's so much like really to like get into when you really like look at it from like a detailed perspective.
Speaking of analytics, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Moneyball. I think that's what it's called.
I
Moneyball
haven't
with
seen
Brad
it.
Pitt and
Yeah,
Jonah Hill.
Not in its entirety, but I've seen.
I watched it recently, I want to say 3 weeks ago. For those who don't know, it was based on a true story for the 2002 Oakland Athletics. Basically, they went to the ALDS. Was it the ALDS? The year before, and then they lost to the Yankees. And then they ended up losing to Matt Damon. Was it Matt Damon? Johnny Damon. See, I'm fucked up. Matt Damon's a goddamn actor.
I'm like, is he naming the character? I don't remember Matt Damon being in the movie.
Buffalo. It was Johnny Damon. It was somebody else that they lost to, like I think it was the Boston Red Sox. And Jonah Hill's character, who was working for the Cleveland Indians as basically like almost an intern, he basically became the right-hand man or the assistant general manager to Brad Pitt's character. And he was an analytics genius, whereas he was getting great like pieces, people that the MLB were just looking as like washed up or outsiders or whatever the case was. Like their main thing was get hits so you can get on base. Like that was not even get hits, get on base.
Basically.
You know?
So if they were gonna walk you, if they was gonna
Just if they get on base, he wanted you on the team. And they ended up winning they have the record for the most consecutive wins in the American League. I think it was 22 wins straight. Quote me if I'm wrong.
I think the Indians broke it like 2-3 years ago.
But they did
At
have
the top of the record.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, and that's the whole analytics spiel. Like MLB is really like analytics.
Nah,
Phil.
you really have to, like, because you can't just set anybody up against anybody. So I definitely see, like,
And that's on a sport basis too. I feel like.
that. They definitely too. Definitely.
But it's like, I mean, I feel like people are like NBA is gravitating towards doing that. Like I see a lot more analytics and statistics these days.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll never be on some baseball stuff
Yeah,
where it's
baseball.
like, yeah, we're not gonna send, Avery Bradley out against Devin Booker because Devin Booker got 40 on the last game. I don't think it's gonna get that.
I would say the equivalent to that for the NBA is like when they don't play their big man in the fourth quarter or some shit.
Yeah, like definitely. Yeah, that's definitely where analytics will come in because you don't want to, at the free throw line and stuff like that. Hack a Shaq rule and all that. I hate the hack a Shaq shit. By the way, I ain't gonna hold you.
Gotta make your free throws, man.
I mean that's true, but like I don't know, it's just annoying to see. Like I don't like free throws. It slows the game down.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? But
Speaking of just a quick segue, I saw it was an article about the G League attempting a new rule, like with the free throws.
yeah, we definitely. I forgot.
So if you get fouled in a 3-pointer or fouled in a 2-pointer, depending on what shot it is, that's you take one free throw shot and that one free throw counts for 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try that out next year. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's definitely gonna help with pacing in terms of getting the games.
I mean, sorry to cut you off, but I see how it can help somebody, like help a game like like a James Harden where like you live at the free throw line. It kind of makes it a little quicker instead of like like just.
Yeah, but
That takes away the pressure too.
it does. It takes away the pressure. But I think one of the rules is like it's only it doesn't count for like the last 3 minutes or 2 minutes, some shit like that. Where you have to still shoot your 2 or 3 free throws. But I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. But
I mean, I'm not gonna really see how it goes. 'Cause I'm not gonna watch the G League, but I'ma hear how it went. I'll hear how it went. But with that being said, speaking on just basketball, WNBA is in the finals.
that's a fact.
Last game, I watched a couple pieces of it, or at least like up until about the first half. The MVP for the league, Elena Deladon, I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She actually had like back spasms like first 3 minutes of the game,
Damn.
and actually her team lost that game. So
Is she out for like the series or just a couple games?
I haven't heard back on it, but I believe she's gonna play next game. So hopefully, I mean, but that's just something to think about because obviously it's not gonna be 100%. So how does that sway the series? We don't know. It's 1-1 right now.
Yeah.
Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun.
Connecticut Sun, yeah.
Mhm.
We was talking about this, like, WNBA doesn't get no respect
No
at all,
love
man.
at all, bro.
Like, from coverage, like, the WNBA Finals is on ESPN, but I personally did not know that until I was on ESPN, the channel, and I saw a commercial for it. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I just
like-
feel like they should get more press.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's literally on the channel, and like none of the desktop sports desk shows like they speak about it. None of them speak about it at all, bro. Like they don't mention it. Nothing. Like I literally watch most of these morning shows and most of these like afternoon, highly questionable PTI, all that other stuff.
And if they do mention it, it's real quick, like
Real
at the
quick.
end segment.
Like yeah, like oh yeah, like after this is gonna be the WNBA finals. Like that's crazy to me that. Cause like we had to at least give the women a chance. I feel like, cause like they complain about the money and like I get it. Like the money isn't there for them to get paid equally. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. There's not the attendance is not there at the arenas. The people are just not tuning in to watch it. But we're not giving them a chance fairly. That the promotion wise and stuff like that. We're not really giving them a chance. So I feel like we need to really give them a chance, like on a big stage, at least to promote them and like say, hey, at least this game is going on instead of like just completely not talking about it at all.
I mean, I feel like with every sport, like with the younger generation coming in, literally with every sport is getting more athletic, more fun, more fast. So hopefully that's the case with the WNBA as well, because I definitely feel like it'll help, just for the product itself to be much more entertaining for an average fan or whatever the case is.
And I see a couple young girls coming up. I think it'll get quicker pace and better skill. Still won't be any dunks, but
We
they'll
need some
be.
dunks, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like somebody got to come with some hops. But regardless of that,
The fun this popped up to my mind, but he told me about the golfer from Korea, and a Korean golfer.
right.
He was basically somebody took a picture and the flash went off when he was about to hit.
It wasn't the flash, it was the ring.
No, it was a flash.
It was a flash?
Yeah,
I thought it was a ring.
double checked it. And that threw his whole shit off. He ended up flipping the middle finger to the crowd and banging his club. And he ended up winning that tour.
Of course,
yeah. And he ended up, his name is Bio Kim. He ended up getting suspended for 3 years due to a middle finger and breaking his club.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
3 years.
That lets you know, like, the Asians that don't play.
They don't play at all,
At
bro.
all. 3 years.
For a middle finger.
Like, I don't know what his income is. I would assume it's majority just golf. And for you to really just be there on some, like, yeah, you can't play 3 seasons because you flipped off a fan or just the crowd in general. Mind you, they messed up his shot.
They did.
Like, it's not like they didn't do anything to him. He just turned around like, yo, like, they messed up his shot. Like, it's clear evidence. And, like, he got 3 years. That's
2022, like, I don't even, that's a lot of years. Like, even though years be going by fast these days, 2022, bro, like, you gotta wait 3 years.
like, imagine just sitting on your couch, just
3
chilling, like,
years.
when I watch TV, other people doing it that you know you better than,
That shit
and money
is
you
so
losing
stupid.
out on. I couldn't imagine.
Speaking of suspensions, there was a suspension for the NFL.
Definitely.
Mr. Perfect for the Oakland Raiders. He ended up basically doing a helmet-to-helmet collision on a Colts player. What was, do you know who?
I don't know who it was, but I just know the Colts player, he was on a knee. Like, he had caught the ball.
He was
It was a low pass. He caught it, like, at the knee. And basically, like, Burfict kind of just came and, like, cleaned him with, like, a head-to-head contact.
Like, he could have just, no shoulder tap. It could have been easy. Like,
He could have just pushed him down, to be
and
honest.
this wasn't the first time that he's done something like this. So they ended up suspending him for the whole season, the whole rest of the season.
How do you feel about that?
There's a stat that I actually want to share with y'all that I did not know about until Vontaze Burfict decided to.
Vontaze.
One
One day we're going to get into how the NFL has the worst name. The NFL players have the
That
worst
shit
name.
is terrible.
There's a dude, why are you looking up the stat? There's a dude named the Brickashaw Ferguson. Who
The
played
Brickashaw?
for- The Brickashaw. The Brickashaw. Bro.
No, the
I think he
worst-
played for the Jets at one point.
The worst name that I've
He had a
heard.
street.
The Brickashaw Street?
It's like way. I think it's in Long Island. I swear I've seen it.
That's wacky. The worst name I've heard so far is Ha Ha Clinton Dix.
Yeah, like.
That name is crazy. But this man, this is not the first time he's been suspended.
He's
let
been
me-
suspended on pretty much every team he's played for multiple times.
Let me give you this quote from TheGuardian.com. During his time in the NFL, Burfict has missed a total of 22 games due to suspension, roughly 19% of his career. In monetary terms, he cost himself $4.6 million in salary and has been fined 9 other times, costing $411,000. That is over $5 million in the course of his career that he has lost due to dirty hits. That's ridiculous.
Now, here's my thing. Yes, football is an aggressive sport. You got to play it with a different kind of mentality. You can't play it with, like, soft. You got to be out there. What the coaches usually teach is, like, between the whistles, you play harder. You know what I'm saying? There's no mercy between the whistles. That's how you coach. But when you get to a place where guys are doing this to provide for their families. At this point, like, these are all grown, for the most part, grown men getting to grown men level. Like, these guys are all playing for their families. This is how they provide for themselves. So, like, for you to really go out there and try and, like, take people out the way he's been trying to take people
ankles,
out,
legs,
defenseless players, head-to-head contact, and when the NFL's been like angling down on that specific thing, and you go out there and, like, turn
still do it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't really be mad at a complete season's, suspension. He's gonna appeal it. I think he has already appealed it. I hope they kind of deny it, in my opinion. That's not gonna lie. I hope.
The last suspension he had was a 5-game suspension. He appealed it and ended up getting 3 instead of 5. Some people think that he might be able to play this season. Others think that it's not going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen again because you have a history of being a dirty player.
Yeah, like, it's at some point lessons have to be taught. Like, things have to be, put in place. You can't. There's no place for just because you don't know what that could do to like a player. Like you really, I don't remember the specifics, but I think the guy was able to walk off.
Yeah, he was. But it's but still,
it's the principle, basically.
And people say the NFL stands for not for long because at any play you get your career can end.
Yeah, so like for you to be the guy that's like potentially taking people out, and you're being that guy that could be the any play guy, like nah, I can't let that slide in my heart. And I play football, so I know you got to be out there aggressively, but you can't be out there killing people or like trying to really hurt people. There's no place for that in the sport.
But I mean, to piggyback off that, since we're on the topic of the NFL and injuries, I feel like what's something that's been really not surprising but exciting to see is the youth movement for quarterbacks around the league. I read a stat last week. It was like stating like over 50 or 60% of the people that were named starters were like 50 or 60% of the teams, their backups were playing. Like now, like last week.
Yeah, because we got Kyle Allen is starting for the Panthers right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know when Cam's coming back. Gardner Minshew is starting.
Stash in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he's
doing his thing over
for
there.
Jags. We got Danny Dimes starting. Who else is out there?
It's not even just the backups; it's the youth movement in general. Kyler Murray in Arizona. We got Teddy Bridgewater's playing again, after that horrendous leg injury. He's still extremely young, still extremely talented for the New Orleans Saints, and they doing their thing, man.
No, you can win games behind Teddy Bridgewater. Championship, I don't know, but you can definitely win games behind Teddy Bridgewater. He's shown that he can win games.
Dwayne Haskins and Washington Redskins, even though a little shaky.
That was a very unfortunate. That was a bad time to plug him in.
It was like, what's the best time? Because it's like the season I feel is already lost for the Washington
I feel like you give him a time where he can go get the practice reps as the number one instead of him coming in as the number two and then throwing him in there. You know what I'm saying?
Two picks.
Yeah, it's just a bad game. But I feel like he'll be bad. He'll bounce back. That's just a bad game that we had. But in all, I'm proud of the NFL and the youth movement, just the ability, guys just going out there and really performing well at their young ages.
A lot of black quarterbacks too. Just want to throw that out there. Definitely. This is the most black quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Definitely.
And real good starting caliber quarterbacks. People are considering Patrick Mahomes, who's a biracial black man, to be one of the best quarterbacks.
No, yeah, definitely, because he's just nice.
He's real.
I just can't really get the throws, the decision making. He protects the ball. I haven't seen anybody come on the scene that crazy. This might be biased, but since Aaron Rodgers, to be honest, Aaron Rodgers is probably the next person I can think of that came on the scene and just yo.
And he was behind Brett Favre for 3 seasons before he got the chance.
4 seasons before he got the chance. This is.
Patrick just had to wait a year.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season. He's already just polished.
And I feel like with the success of Patrick Mahomes, it's and with the success of Lamar Jackson for the Baltimore Ravens, it has pushed people to trust their young quarterbacks.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, give them the keys to this. And it's an exciting time, man. But it's what's gonna happen to the old guard? We still got Drew Brees, even though he got a thumb injury, he gonna be back. I feel like he got one more in him.
For a season or
championship.
Oh,
so he got one more championship. I feel like Tom, you can never count this man Tom Brady out. Aaron Rodgers is still here. They 3-1, even though the offense is a bit shaky. The defense is extremely
it's a new system. You gotta give it time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to be Aaron Rodgers, but the system is a little bit of a clash. But I think they'll figure it out going forward. You have one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. It'll be alright. As the defense holds up.
You know what this reminds me of? Early 2000s. I don't know if a lot of people realize, but the beginning of last decade, 2009, 2010, it's the point guard movement in the NBA, the superstar point guards. There were so many, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, John Wall, everybody was coming at one time, basically.
That's when the league started becoming
Damian Lillard.
Guard heavy.
Yeah. So I feel like it's an equivalent.
Basically, yeah, that's a great comparison, actually, basically.
And it's gonna make for a more exciting sport. Because
it's already been an exciting sport, so
I'm excited to see how it's gonna be come postseason. I mean, the season just started, so we gotta hold our horses. How do you feel about Saquon potentially coming back early after? For those who don't know, Saquon Barkley, who is the starting running back for the New York Giants, he had a severe high ankle sprain that was projected to have him out for 48.
It's either 48 or 68 weeks.
I think it was 48.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks since this man is running, jumping.
They're saying he can play Sunday. My opinion on that is, I say don't play him, at least this week, if anything. If you want to play him next week, be him next Sunday.
Understandable.
But after that, cool. But I don't see the need to rush him back. You know what I'm saying? We got a good quarterback. I get that. You know, we have potential to, make a little bit of noise, but Saquon would definitely help. But I'm a longevity kind of guy. I don't want to rush him back and then it becomes a worse ankle injury and then it becomes like a
lingering.
Yeah, like a frequent thing that happens. I don't want to see that. How you feel?
I agree. I feel like if he is indeed 100%, I mean, why not play him? But if he's not 100%, then don't. Even if he's just 90, don't.
Yeah, like if he's not 110% for me, honestly, I say no. No.
Better say sorry. But this man, he's just an athletic specimen, bro. Like this man's legs is the size of toddlers. Like, that shit don't make no fucking sense.
Like my 2 legs, probably not even one of his legs. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not even on some they're joking shit.
Say quads.
But this Saturday is going to be UFC 243. Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya. It's going to be a pretty exciting fight.
So those two guys are who exactly?
So Robert Whittaker is the middleweight champion of the UFC, and Israel is the interim middleweight champion. So it's going to be for the unified championship. Robert Whittaker has been champion since 2017. He won it against Yuri Romeo, if I'm not mistaken, on one leg, which is pretty fucking impressive. Like he had a bum knee, and he won a unanimous decision in 5 rounds, which is fucking tough. It's 25 minutes fighting on one leg. But he's had like a string of bad luck. He was supposed to, He's Australian, and the UFC, since that fight with Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, like 4 years ago, in Australia, it's been like a boom. Like they've opened up like 9 different gyms in Australia. Like MMA in Australia has just been crazy. And he's supposed to have been like a headliner. He's supposed to be somebody that a lot of people talk about on, the level of like the Connors and shit like that.
Right.
But due to injuries, he hasn't been able to. He was supposed to, let me get the exact injuries correct. His first title defense, he ended up having to pull out the night of because of a abdominal hernia. So he had to get emergency surgery the night of. And then his next time where he was supposed to defend his championship, he got the chicken pox.
That's a joke. As a grown man to have chicken pox.
Chicken pox.
I guess they don't vaccinate. You think they vaccinate for that?
I guess not in Australia. Not down under.
Wacky bugs, so I can imagine.
Shit.
Bro.
He got chicken pox and a staph infection. So he wasn't able to defend that then. And his last fight that he had, which was a rematch against Mr. Romeo, where he took the championship from, he didn't make weight. The challenger didn't make weight, so it technically wasn't for the championship. So he hasn't defended his title technically in 600 days, which is a UFC record.
That's a long time to have a title.
A long time.
That's a very long time to have a title.
And Israel Adesanya, he's like the next best thing for people who are like, a bit familiar with the UFC. Anderson Silva is a name that a lot of people know about. People will call him basically like this generation's Anderson Silva. And he actually fought Anderson Silva recently, like last year.
Really?
He beat him, yeah. A lot of people say that he held back because he didn't want to violate Anderson.
I mean, I feel like once you get in that ring, you can't really.
He was dead holding back. I was watching it, he looked like he was holding. He could have fucked him up.
I don't know. I hate when that happens though, because like, why?
It's like I don't know. Respecting the legend, I don't know. He knew he had the win in the bag, I guess, so he didn't want to violate.
I mean, I guess if you friends outside of this, the ring, the octagon, I guess it makes sense. But I don't know. That's not a brand of fighting I want to see. To be honest, I don't want to see like my favorites hold back against me. Like I'm trying to see the brawl.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an exciting fight, you know, because he's undefeated, 17-0. Robert Whittaker's 21-4, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna be in Australia. He's finally gonna be able to actually defend his championship in front of his hometown. So it should be an exciting fight, man. You think you're gonna check it out if you get the chance?
Definitely. Yeah, because I gotta get back into like UFC, to be honest, because I've been paying attention as much to like just fighting in general, like since boxing's kind of been back a little bit.
Boxing has been back, man. It's been making some noise. You know, but like for us, like growing up in like middle school or high school. Well, I would say middle school is when you know, Floyd Mayweather still had it. Like Floyd Mayweather was not even in middle school. Middle school through high school, Floyd Mayweather had it.
Yeah.
But if it came to boxing, Floyd Mayweather was.
It was just Floyd Mayweather.
It was the breadwinner. You know, and heavyweight boxing took like a real big dip, and UFC was rising as like boxing popularity was.
Yeah, and it's crazy to say it, but like you look at it, just like the violence perspective of it is kind of what kind of drove it, in my opinion, because it's just like people are like, okay, less people are getting knocked out. In the UFC, people are getting knocked out, so let's go with the UFC. That's
Cage
pretty much
fight.
what it was.
Human
And then
cage fight.
UFC, it sounds crazy when like humans like put chickens,
Yeah,
chicken fights. But either way, it's just like, and then like once like UFC got to where it is now, and then like Floyd kind of faded off, you know, after the whole Conor McGregor fight. Now we're back with like, you know, big names, big knockouts, big fights, you know.
Andre Wilder. We got what's it called? Tyson Fury.
Andre Ruiz.
Andre Ruiz. We got Anthony Joshua.
I'm gonna say Joshua Anthony. But he got two first names, man.
This is never taught. But I mean, yeah, heavyweight boxing is back, man. It's gonna be an exciting time. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are supposed to have their rematch scheduled for next year, early next year. I think it's February. But Deontay Wilder has a fight in December, so he has to get through that fight.
And then make it to the next fight, which would be against Tyson Fury, provided he wins, I believe. That's the stakes. So I believe we'll see that Tyson Fury Wilder.
Hopefully, man, we need that. Because did you see the first fight?
Yeah.
How did you feel? Like, who do you personally think won?
I'm biased, so I'm never gonna not admit my bias. I love Wilder. That's my guy. So I was leaning Wilder the majority of the fight, but I know everybody.
Bias aside, bro, who do you
Fury
think won the
beat him
fight?
up. Fury beat him
He didn't
up.
beat him up.
He
He
didn't
won
beat
the
him
fight.
up. He won, but he won most of the rounds.
Yeah. But for those who don't know, it went 12 rounds. Deontay knocked him down twice.
Yeah.
The second time, he did not think he was going to get back up. Nigga turned around like, yeah, it's lit. Motherfucker Tyson Fury came back up like the Undertaker.
Yeah, I was like, God damn.
So
Because I was like, this the only way Wilder's winning is if he knocks him out. And I was like, it didn't happen.
he was definitely losing point-wise. And I guess the judges, you know, with him getting knocked down twice, you know, some of them gave it to Deontay. And then, I mean, without it being like a conclusive like decision, it opened the door for a rematch.
True. So I guess publicity-wise, it kind of went the way it was supposed to.
I guess so. But I'm excited to see that, man. But yeah, and UFC 243 is going to be pretty cool. Boxing is back.
You want to touch base on wrestling?
It was. I don't know if you watched.
I haven't watched it yet, but you can go ahead and speak on it.
Yesterday, I watched the first episode of All Elite Wrestling on TNT.
Which we spoke about last episode.
It was astonishing. Like, it was dead ass. Like, bro, I said, oh shit, mad times. Like, the energy was crazy. Like, this is not what we grew up on. This is not the cookie cutter WWE shit. Like, this is. It was great.
Alright, so that makes me more excited.
It was great. I really enjoyed it, man. I definitely feel like everybody should really give it a look, man. Like this, it was an amazing brand of wrestling.
Now that you say that, I'll definitely give it a check.
And I'm definitely gonna, give a look at Friday. Where it's gonna be the season premiere of SmackDown on Fox, which is a pretty big deal. Like it hasn't. I don't remember the last time I've seen wrestling on Fox.
I don't think
It was. I think it was like on probably NBC years ago.
I would say it was on the WB for a little bit, maybe SmackDown.
Wasn't it on like UPN?
It was on UPN.
Yeah, that's a thing that comes to mind.
That's what it was.
Yeah. This is the biggest week in like wrestling in 25 years, so yeah, definitely gotta give it a look.
Hey,
We got-
okay.
No,
Okay, sorry to cut you off, but yeah, moving on from that, we got the Yankees that are definitely playing this weekend, Friday and Saturday against the Twins. Every New York fan is kind of pushing to the side because we've been owning the Twins, but
whooping their ass for years. Yankees.
This is still New York sports, so let's watch, support, root for our Yankees.
I'm gonna watch, root. I feel like it's gonna be an easy W. Hopefully they don't, lead me straight. Like I said last week, I'm only worrying about the Houston Astros. Once we get past the Houston Astros, I feel like that's our championship.
The Astros is tough, bro.
They are.
The Astros have a good everything.
How do you see it, bro?
7-game series.
That's definitely a 7-game.
We'll see.
Because honestly, the way to beat the Astros, they just have to be like off. Like, to be honest, they just have to have a bad.
But you know what? I'll tell you this: if Tampa Bay could give Houston 5 games, and the Yankees could beat Minnesota pretty clean, I got the Yankees in 6. If that's the case.
We'll see, man.
But with that being said, I think that wraps up another episode of Not Gonna Lie. Episode 3.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, keep checking us out. Those who've been supporting us, thank you, and we'll be back next week.
Love.